Most men think performance begins in the bedroom, but the truth is, it begins hours earlier, in the quiet moments before sleep, when the body resets, hormones rebalance, and confidence is either built or broken. What if a simple nighttime oil routine could subtly enhance circulation, deepen sensitivity, calm the nervous system, and help you wake up feeling stronger, more responsive, and more in control of your intimate energy? Tonight we're talking about a ritual that is not about magic tricks or instant fixes, but about understanding how your body works and using touch, warmth, and intention to support male performance naturally. When we speak about men's performance and intimacy, we are really speaking about blood flow, hormonal balance, relaxation, confidence, and connection between the brain and the body. Stress is one of the biggest hidden destroyers of male vitality. Cortisol rises, testosterone drops, circulation tightens, and the mind becomes distracted. A nighttime oil routine works because it addresses these factors at their root. The skin is the largest organ of the body and absorbs nutrients while also responding powerfully to touch. When you apply warm oil to specific areas before bed, you stimulate parasympathetic activity, which is the nervous system state associated with relaxation, recovery, and sexual readiness. Oils such as cold-pressed coconut oil, sweet almond oil, sesame oil, or blends infused with natural ingredients like ashwagandha or fenugreek have long been used in traditional wellness practices to nourish tissue and support male vitality. The key is not aggressive stimulation, but slow, mindful massage. Begin by warming a small amount of oil between your palms. The warmth itself signals safety to the body. When you gently massage the lower abdomen, inner thighs, and pelvic region, you increase local circulation. Improved circulation supports firmer and more sustainable erections, because erections are fundamentally about blood flow. Many men underestimate how much tight hip flexors, sedentary lifestyles, and pelvic tension reduce blood movement to the groin. A nightly oil massage, combined with gentle stretching, can gradually release that tension. But there is also a psychological component that cannot be ignored. When a man touches his body with care rather than judgment, he rewires his internal dialogue. Performance anxiety often begins with self-criticism. This ritual becomes a private moment of reconnection, shifting the mindset from pressure to presence. Over time, this reduces anticipatory anxiety, which is one of the leading contributors to inconsistent performance. Another powerful benefit of a nighttime oil routine is improved sleep quality. Deep sleep is when testosterone production peaks. Studies consistently show that men who sleep less than 6 hours per night experience measurable declines in testosterone levels. By massaging the shoulders, neck, and feet with oil before bed, you calm the nervous system and improve sleep depth. Sesame oil in particular is known for its warming properties, making it helpful for men who feel chronically cold or tense. Coconut oil, being lighter, is soothing and cooling, which can benefit men prone to overheating or inflammation. The act of slow massage releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, even when performed solo. Oxytocin reduces stress hormones and enhances feelings of safety, which indirectly supports erectile function. The pelvic floor is another area often ignored in male performance conversations. Just like any muscle group, it requires healthy circulation and relaxation. A gentle external massage around the perineum area, without force or aggressive pressure, can increase awareness and sensitivity. Increased sensitivity does not mean loss of control. In fact, greater body awareness often improves control because you become more attuned to subtle sensations. This is especially valuable for men who struggle with either delayed response or finishing too quickly. When awareness increases, regulation becomes easier. Breathing should be slow and deep during the routine. Inhale through the nose, allowing the belly to expand, and exhale slowly through the mouth. This breathing pattern enhances nitric oxide production, which supports vascular dilation. Nitric oxide is crucial for strong erections because it signals blood vessels to relax and widen. Many pharmaceutical solutions work by targeting this same pathway, but simple lifestyle practices can also influence it naturally. Consistency matters more than intensity. 5 to 10 mindful minutes nightly can produce more sustainable results than occasional intense effort. Over several weeks, you may notice morning erections becoming more consistent, sensitivity improving, and overall confidence rising. But beyond the physical effects, something deeper shifts. You begin to see performance not as a test to pass, but as an expression of health. Intimacy becomes less about proving yourself and more about sharing energy. This shift alone can dramatically change outcomes in the bedroom because tension dissolves and connection strengthens. There is also the element of scent. Natural oils have subtle aromas that can condition the brain to associate bedtime with relaxation and pleasure. Over time, this creates a psychological anchor. When the scent is present, the body anticipates calm and readiness. This conditioning effect is powerful and often overlooked. It transforms the routine into a signal that the day's stress is over and recovery has begun. Hydration and nutrition also play a role. Oils support the skin externally, but internal hydration supports blood volume and elasticity. Pairing the nighttime oil routine with adequate water intake and mineral balance enhances its benefits. Zinc, magnesium, and healthy fats are particularly important for male hormone health. When the body receives proper nourishment inside and out, performance improves naturally. Another overlooked aspect is touch deprivation. Many men go through life without receiving non-sexual touch. A self-massage routine partially fills that gap, teaching the nervous system that touch is safe and grounding. This reduces subconscious tension that can interfere with arousal. When partnered intimacy occurs, the body is already familiar with relaxed touch, making it easier to transition into shared closeness. It is important to emphasize that this routine is not about chasing unrealistic standards. It is about building resilience. Even the strongest men experience fluctuations in performance due to stress, fatigue, or emotional strain. A nighttime oil ritual creates stability. It is a daily act of self-investment. Over time, this builds a quiet confidence that cannot be faked. When a man knows he has cared for his body, he enters intimacy differently. His posture changes, his breathing slows, his presence deepens. And presence, more than anything else, is what partners feel. Performance is not only mechanical, it is energetic. When circulation, hormones, relaxation, and self-trust align, the body responds with strength and reliability. This is the beginning of understanding that male performance is holistic, not isolated to a single moment in the bedroom, but built in the private rituals of the night before. As this ritual deepens, the real transformation begins when you understand that oils are not just lubricants for the skin, but carriers of therapeutic properties that interact with circulation, nerve endings, and even hormonal signaling. Certain oils penetrate more effectively because of their molecular structure, allowing them to nourish the superficial tissues and subtly influence deeper layers over time. For example, sweet almond oil is rich in vitamin E and essential fatty acids, which support skin elasticity and microcirculation. When applied with slow, deliberate strokes along the inner thighs and lower abdomen, it helps reduce tightness that often restricts healthy blood flow toward the pelvic region. Sesame oil, traditionally used in ancient wellness systems, has a warming quality that can gently stimulate sluggish circulation, particularly in men who feel chronically fatigued or notice reduced responsiveness. Warmth is essential because warmth relaxes blood vessels, and relaxed vessels allow fuller expansion when arousal occurs. The technique itself matters as much as the oil. Instead of rushing, you move in slow circular motions, allowing the palms to glide without friction. Pressure should be moderate and consistent, never aggressive, because the goal is not to overstimulate but to awaken sensitivity while maintaining calm. This balance between stimulation and relaxation is crucial. Overstimulation can create tension and performance pressure, while mindful touch creates responsiveness and control. As you massage, your breath remains steady and deep, synchronizing with the rhythm of your hands. The breath becomes the bridge between the nervous system and the vascular system. Deep diaphragmatic breathing increases oxygenation and supports nitric oxide release, improving vascular dilation naturally. Over time, this consistent practice trains the body to associate relaxation with arousal rather than anxiety with arousal. Many men unknowingly condition themselves to experience stress during intimate moments because they focus on outcomes instead of sensations. This nighttime ritual rewires that association. It builds a new pattern where calmness and pleasure coexist. Another important aspect is the lower back. The nerves that influence sexual function travel through the lumbar and sacral regions. Tension in the lower back can subtly disrupt signaling between the brain and pelvic nerves. Applying warm oil along the lower spine and massaging outward toward the hips can ease muscular tightness that accumulates from long hours of sitting or physical strain. Even 5 minutes of focused lower back massage can create noticeable improvements in comfort and responsiveness. Over weeks, men often report increased morning vitality and more spontaneous arousal, which are indicators of healthy vascular and hormonal function. Sleep remains a cornerstone of this entire process. Testosterone production peaks during deep sleep cycles, particularly during the first few hours of uninterrupted rest. If stress or screen exposure disrupts sleep, hormonal balance suffers. When the oil routine is paired with dim lighting and minimal phone use, it becomes part of a broader wind-down ritual. The scent, the warmth, the touch, and the breathing signal to the brain that it is safe to transition into recovery mode. This consistency strengthens circadian rhythm alignment, which in turn stabilizes hormone production. Some men choose to enhance their oil with a drop of natural essential oils, such as sandalwood or lavender, not for fragrance alone, but for their calming neurological effects. These aromas can reduce heart rate variability associated with stress, making it easier to fall asleep quickly and enter restorative cycles. The psychological dimension cannot be overstated. Performance challenges are often amplified by fear of failure. When a man invests in a nightly self-care practice, he shifts from reactive to proactive. Instead of waiting for a problem to appear, he builds resilience daily. That resilience translates into confidence. Confidence is not arrogance, it is quiet certainty that the body is supported and prepared. During partnered intimacy, this confidence reduces the mental chatter that interrupts arousal. The mind stays present rather than racing ahead to evaluate performance. Presence enhances connection, and connection itself enhances arousal, because the body responds strongly to emotional safety. There is also an important link between inflammation and vascular health. Chronic low-grade inflammation, often caused by poor diet, lack of movement, or stress, can impair endothelial function, which affects blood vessel flexibility. Oils rich in antioxidants applied topically may not cure systemic inflammation alone, but combined with internal lifestyle changes, they contribute to overall tissue health. When paired with gentle stretching before bed, especially hip openers and pelvic tilts, circulation improves even further. The synergy between movement and massage accelerates results. Sensitivity also improves when nerve endings are regularly stimulated in a calm environment. Sensitivity does not mean hypersensitivity. It means better communication between nerves and brain. With better communication comes improved control. Men who practice mindful touch often find they can modulate arousal more effectively because they recognize subtle signals earlier. This prevents sudden spikes that lead to premature release and also supports sustained firmness because the nervous system is not overwhelmed. Over time, the routine becomes less about fixing performance and more about honoring vitality. You begin to notice shifts not only in intimacy, but in overall energy levels, posture, and mood. When circulation is strong and sleep is deep, the body carries itself differently. Stress resilience increases. Even outside the bedroom, interactions become calmer and more grounded. This holistic improvement reinforces the cycle, because feeling strong and centered during the day supports relaxed arousal at night. Importantly, patience is essential. Natural enhancement is cumulative. The body adapts gradually, strengthening vascular pathways and neural connections through repetition. Missing a night occasionally will not undo progress, but consistency builds momentum. Think of it as training, not forcing. Each night you are teaching your body how to relax deeply, circulate efficiently, and respond confidently. In intimate relationships, this preparation changes the dynamic subtly but powerfully. Instead of hoping performance will be adequate, you enter the moment knowing you have supported your body. That knowing eliminates a layer of subconscious fear. And when fear diminishes, pleasure expands. This is where many men experience the most profound shift, not in the physical sensation alone, but in the emotional atmosphere surrounding intimacy. The bedroom stops feeling like a stage and starts feeling like a shared space of exploration. The oil routine becomes a foundation for that shift, grounding you in your body and strengthening the systems that support masculine vitality. And when this nightly ritual becomes part of who you are, rather than something you occasionally try, the transformation moves beyond performance and into identity. You are no longer a man hoping his body cooperates. You are a man who understands his body, supports it, and works with it instead of against it. That shift alone changes the entire experience of intimacy. Over months of consistency, circulation becomes more reliable because blood vessels respond more efficiently to signals from the brain. The nervous system becomes balanced, spending less time